I have a question for you. I know we like. Can I do a final question for you?
Uh,
I have a question for you, Alice. Oh, you've already got that prepared. Wow, I didn't know you had that prepared. That's amazing. Okay, fair play. That's good. Well done. Well done. You're thinking ahead. I love it. Okay, my question to you is now. Hopefully, the Activision deal is now done. Apart from big developers, big publishers, so not Sega, not Capcom, not Square Enix, and none of those. Who does Xbox buy next? Like, what small company should they buy next? Or like indie developer, or like game, like, or just a smaller developer that has like 1 or 2 games? Who do you think should be added to the fold?
Well, it should be game studios that once worked for Valve Launchpad, because been studying the Valve Launchpad and I saw some potential developers. Some of them went off, but there's like, I think it was Moonshine Studios have been working on like Get Packed, and then you have Moving Out, which is a clone of it. And now they've been working for Stadia, got the game out, but couldn't get through. So it would be nice if Microsoft were to buy them, as well as some Microsoft buying Raven Bear Studios, which they've been working on this multiplayer game called Stuffed, and that one got slowed down, but it should be the game that it's already out on Steam, but it's coming over soon to Xbox. But it would be nice if Microsoft were to buy both of these, as well as other game studios as well. In fact, I think if Microsoft were to offer money for Valve Launchpad, because I think they used to have like EU donations. Don't know if they still do, but if they don't, then it would be nicer for Microsoft to help them and even deal with the dev kits. Just like the Gamer Camp in Birmingham City University, which they had like PlayStation dev kits over to them. They used to have like Vita or PlayStation 4 dev kits, but I don't know if it's still the case. But I would imagine they're still got the development kits there. So I think it's Microsoft's turn to offer some Xbox consoles over to Valve Launchpad and give, because it's easy enough for you to get a dev kit and activate it on your console, and then you can like get your Unity or Unreal games over to them. I don't know the full details, so if you have any experience or information with it, then let us know in the comments below. But apart from that, my answer is that they should buy Raven Bear and Moonshine Studios, because I think Microsoft is just like makes it easy for them to port the games over and get them through. But I think it's more likely they will be focusing on like Switch, especially with Stuffed. But I think Stuffed is already like aiming to go on PC and Xbox. But who knows? We'll just have to see.
I'm surprised you didn't say Rooster Teeth.
I did not. Because what I would say is I just like, because I was going to do a separate video on it, and it can still happen, but there's an issue. I think I would go into the details here, but for TDLR is there, it's not likely for them to be accepted through. They've already got like bought by Warner Brothers, and somehow I think they're pretty much the ones that put them in the chopping block. But Rooster Teeth is just like a podcast service, and it's already like generating a lot of revenue for it. But for animation projects, they already got like new episodes of Camp Camp and the last season of like Red vs. Blue. And after that, it's a bit up in the air whether like Ruby's going to get more stuff. Falling 10 for Ruby is still not greenlit. And that's despite like after 2 years of like Falling 9 waiting. And then there's like Justice League crossovers, which they got the film up. But there's a part 2 of it, which is coming out later this year.
Oh, God.
And I think they're already in quite a bit of more of a mess, really. So I just don't see anything positive there. But then there's definitely some information that I still wish to discuss with why would Microsoft would buy Rooster Teeth, which I imagine is going to get disliked to death. But then it's just not likely to happen. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was fair enough. I have a couple of companies I think Xbox should buy. before we head out. So I was thinking Yacht Club games I love. They do really good stuff, like Shovel Knight and stuff. I think they're great. Super Giant, people who make Hades, I think they would be pretty good. Team Meat, the people who do Super Meat Boy. And then the most obvious one that they think actually probably will happen is IO Interactive, the creators of Hitman. And they're also making Project Dragon for Xbox, and they're also making the James Bond game. So I think they would be a really good purchase for Xbox as well. So those would be my top purchase, apart from Sega, obviously, which is obviously my top purchase. But if you're not you go for big companies, if you go for small companies, those would be the ones I would love Xbox to pick up.
I would say that. In regards, there's a couple of the studios you've mentioned that Microsoft is planning to buy, but as for yacht games, I think these are developers who are more like leaned over to Switch, which they got Shovel
It's not going to happen.
Shovel Knight digs over to Switch, and they also were quick to put games over to there. So I think it's a bit of a risky thing, but I don't really see that as a likely thing.
Oh, it's not happening. No, I don't see it happening, but just Shovel Knight's one of my favorite games ever. I just thought I'd just throw it out there. But I mean, the other ones are more likely. Supermassive and IO and maybe Team Meat, but I don't know. Maybe not Team Meat either. Yeah, but no, that'd be really cool. I would love to see some new stuff from. I would love Xbox to start getting some smaller developers in now instead of just buying super companies. Like, I say this now, and then like tomorrow they'll come out and say, we're going to buy EA and Ubisoft. And it's like, oh, bloody hell, Microsoft, calm down. I'm hoping that like the next purchase will be like a smaller one, but less a Sega, you know. I'm hoping it's going to be like they're going to get a couple of smaller developers just to round out their portfolio. Because at the moment they said they got a couple of glaring gaps, but they have got a massive load of studios now. Just a couple of small things just to fill in the gaps, and we'll be perfect. They don't need another $69 billion studio after Activision. Not quite yet, anyway. Maybe in a couple of years, but no. I think you're good for now. When the big studio purchases, maybe go something a bit smaller now. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at xmarksbox on Twitter or xmarksthebox on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.